with a question, a challenge, if you will. Um, Reflect with me, if you will, on what you were doing last year on Christmas Eve. How did you spend Christmas Eve 2019? I spent it with my family in Las Vegas. We went out to a musical program at a church, followed by dinner at a fancy restaurant, which I had a really hard time enjoying because I had just had foot surgery done the week before, which was a week after my dad had died, and I just could not get comfortable. But in any event, we were all together other than my dad, and we were celebrating Christmas on Christmas Eve together. So fast forward to this year, and let's reflect, if you will, on all of what we have lost since then. And mind you, most of these we lost within less than 3 months. Okay, so from the end of December until basically the end of March. Okay, here we go. Freedom of the press in terms of posting to social media and elsewhere, with consequences like shadow banning from viewers or of viewers, censoring and or quote unquote fact checking of our posts and our material, canceling and suspending of accounts whenever we posted something that was not consistent with what the tech giants wanted us to believe, even down to doctors and epidemiologists' posts being taken down and deleted for daring to challenge COVID claims made by the media and politicians. Freedom to assemble, unless it was, of course, for Antifa or BLM. That was somehow different. But freedom to assemble with those you love and with your friends or with other shoppers, with your churchgoers, even down to seeing family members in the hospital or in nursing homes. As we learned firsthand when my mom attempted suicide on St. Patrick's Day to be with Dad. And we had to wait until she was released from the hospital a week later before we could embrace her. And that's also been the case for numerous people in nursing homes, as you well know. Okay, let's see. Continuing on. Freedom of religion and to practice our faith. It occurs to me that if we had just thought of maybe doing it in an aisle in Walmart, we could have assembled there and held church services there, I imagine, but loses a little something, I think. Freedom to gain an education, to go to classes. Freedom to work. For most people, this is the very definition of the pursuit of happiness, because you have to earn money to spend it on things that you would like to do. Not to mention an essential for supporting one's family. Freedom to breathe freely. Remember that? Remember those days before you had to cover your face with a disgusting, filthy cloth or paper muzzle? Freedom to choose who to buy from and do business with. That's all been chosen for us. Freedom to have the assurance of security in the form of a police presence. Arrests and prosecutions of criminals. Remember those days? Wow, it seems quaint anymore, doesn't it? How naive we were. Freedom to trust in election integrity and in having a legitimate choice of representation in government. Imagine that. Wow, Those are the days. Loss of trust in our judicial system to serve as an arm of the checks and balances inherent in our Constitution against abuses of power. Talk about naive. So all this, again, took less than 3 months to 9 months for us to lose. Think about that. So my question next is, what will we lose next within the same amount of time? Possibly our Second Amendment rights. They're already threatening to seize our firearms that we would rely upon to protect our families and our homes and our loved ones. What's next? Our financial assets too? Would you put it past them? I wouldn't. They're already clamping down even more on our data and tracking our every move and every one of our contacts and threatening to seize our guns and throw us all into re-education camps. That's code for concentration camps. My favorite cousin on my dad's side of the family was a survivor of Auschwitz. He and his father emigrated here when they were liberated in World War II. That was after he lost his mom and his sister to the gas chambers of Auschwitz. You know, in Germany and in Hungary and in Poland, the Jews over there thought, oh, that couldn't happen here. No. We'll just wait. Watch how things play out. I'm sure it'll all get better. Maybe there have been enough people here stirring the pot, saying, enough's enough, people. Let's wake up and do something and take action. Take matters into our own hands, since we can't rely on others who we thought we could rely upon. Maybe now it's time for President Trump to use the emergency broadcast system to announce and enumerate all of what we already know about the election and other abuses of power. And then perhaps have all the perpetrators, the tech giants, and all the complicit politicians and governors and media hosts arrested and charged with treason, and then try them all under a military tribunal as enemies of the Republic, because that is precisely what they are. But on that note, actually, I'll end on a more reassuring note, a positive note, if you will. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? That's Psalms 27, verse 1. You want to know how I decided on that particular verse of scripture? I simply opened this book, and that was the passage that my finger alighted on. Prescient, don't you think? Maybe we should take our cues from those words. Let the chips fall where they may as we defy what they who have us under their thumb are demanding of us. Don't wear a mask. And if it lands us in jail, what's the difference? Aren't we there already? Anyway, Godspeed, God willing, God bless. Until next time. Thanks for watching.